I miss you guys. I hope you guys are well. We've had a series of assignments that have been due on Google Classroom, and we have had, mixed results in regards to you guys and your turning rates. I had to call some parents and talk to some kids, Edwin, Robert, different kids, Anthony, different kids on Thursday. But hopefully we can get better this week. I'll start posting videos like Mr. Lockman and Mr. Tice, and I'll try to communicate to you at my expectations of what I want on Google Classroom as far as the assignments are concerned. Some of you guys are asking questions that I feel like we've gone over in class, how to complete these different types of assignments, like the notes and the PowerPoint, things like that. But I guess it's different because I'm not giving you verbal directions, so we're having some difficulty with that. So I just want to talk about, well, first off, I graded the journals. Weekend before last, I posted the grades on Illuminate. I have not posted the grades for Google Classroom yet, but for the assignments that you guys have completed. But I did post the grades for journals. Again, I think 7B did a better job than 7A. Or actually, I'm sorry, 8B did a better job than 8A. But you guys are 8th graders. But, now the journals are kind of suspended. I'll keep them in a safe place until I see you next. I don't know when that will be. We told you guys 2 weeks, about a week and a half ago. Things have definitely changed in our society. We're on lockdown. Well, a light lockdown, but it might get worse and worse before it gets better. Don't really know. But we are reading The Outsiders, transitioning to schoolwork. We are reading The Outsiders. I've made a couple assignments, I've assigned a couple assignments in regards to The Outsiders. We had The Outsiders intro notes due last week. We also, last Thursday, on Friday, we had the Allure of Gangs article, which was an article about why people join gangs, history of gangs, the influence of gangs, of course, the positives, the negatives, or at least what people think are positives, I should say, and then the negatives, as well as why people join, reasons why people join gangs. That has something to do in relation to the book, right? And Pony Boy and him being in a gang and his identity as Pony Boy, but then his identity as a greaser, and then how people perceive him as a greaser and not just as his own personal identity. I had all these projects to do in regards to this, but obviously we're not in class, so we can't do them. But we'll make the best of it. We also had Outsiders discussion questions for chapters 1 and 2 due today. Hopefully you did that and completed it by midnight. Please, kids, stop playing those video games. Take this seriously. You guys want to graduate middle school and you guys want to do well in English, which a lot of you are, but we got to keep that momentum. If you know a student who's not accessing Google Classroom, we need to communicate to them that this is where we're going to have class. The packets won't suffice anymore. It's fine if they do the work there and they read the chapters, but we have to grade them and we have to be able to understand that they're holding themselves accountable for these assignments. So this is important that they find a way to get on Google Classroom at least once or twice a week to complete these assignments. Plus, I'm going to start posting videos of different lessons and videos like this, so just kind of catching up with you guys, so you guys can post your questions on the bottom of this video and make sure that you understand everything that we're going over right now. That's why we're going over it. That's why this video is probably going to be like 10 minutes long. Test that Tuesday due tomorrow. Master of Beautiful Music. You had to read the article, annotate it. There was 2 short written responses, I think, or maybe not. No, it was just multiple choice questions. But make sure that you complete that by midnight tomorrow. I know we got a lot of assignments, so this is a good couple hours of work every day. And I know a lot of you are probably cussing me out in your head right now when I say that, but honestly, it's going to be much worse in high school. And now that I don't get to be on you guys during school hours and hold you guys accountable as well as your other teachers, we need to make sure that you guys are doing this work on Google Classroom. And there's really no way of doing that except for calling your parents, emailing, and trying to be as clear as I possibly can with my directions, which, I feel like there's an area for growth with that. And I'll get better, I hope. And these videos will get better as we go on. Which leads me to my next point, grading outsiders intro notes. I did that yesterday. It was very easy to grade, whether you just did it or you didn't. And then alert of gangs I'll grade. I was gonna grade it today, but I got caught up trying to do all these videos and all these things. So took me a long time to record the 7th grade video. So I'll try to grade that one tomorrow. And I saw most of us turned it in, but not all again. So expect a phone call to come to a casa near you if you did not do your work. And then audio narrating. I did audio narrating for chapters 1 and 2. So you didn't see my face, but you heard my voice. If you did listen to the audio narration, Esmeralda also gave me a link to a professional who doesn't breathe hard like I do. And they narrated the different chapters as well. So that was good. Thank you, Esmeralda, for that. So if you want to read along, you want to listen along, then access those videos. I'll do chapter 3, probably most likely tomorrow. But make sure you've read chapters 1 and 2, and those audio narrations are on Google Classroom, Mr. Azari's Google Classroom. All right, and then the outsiders. Okay, so I briefly went over it earlier. The main character, the protagonist, is Pony Boy. Pony Boy is one of the youngest member of the Greasers. He's 14. Johnny is 16. So they're like the two younger members of the gang. It's more like a family than a gang, as he explains in chapters 1 and actually in chapters 2 as well. Him himself isn't a person who breaks the law yet. But they don't have a family structure. His parents died in a car accident, and a lot of the members of his greaser gang come from broken homes, like Johnny, like Dally. 2-Bit has a mother, but I don't think he has a father. So lower class, I guess you could say, citizens, and they are the greasers. They wear their hair back with the gel, and they wear the leather jackets, which I have. And one day I'll probably reenact on one of these videos, but not today. But yeah, so that's the greaser gang. The rival gang is the Socias. The Socias are upper middle class or upper class society, usually the jocks of the high school, and they're rough too. And they like to jump, as you read in chapters 1 and chapters 2, like to jump the greasers when they're not looking, or if it's 5 or 6 on 1. They're kind of punks, and they kind of attack the smaller, weaker members of the gang, as you can see with Pony Boy and Johnny. So we have this community or characters versus characters, right? We've talked about conflict before. So we have this community versus community type of conflict in this story, especially right off the bat. And then, of course, there's his love interest, or a girl who he just really finds attractive and has a connection to, even though she's from the opposite gang. She is the girlfriend of another member, as you'll find out in chapters to come, of the Socias, and she's a Soch girl. She's a cheerleader. And, of course, they meet in chapter 2, her and Pony Boy and Johnny and 2-Bit and Dally. And so there's that kind of clash of those two societies, two different gangs. But as you can see, they're all kids, right? They're all just teenagers with the same kind of teenage issues. And we'll get into that subject more throughout the novel. So that's where we're at. Different terms, different terminology that we've seen. You have notes for that. So look at those notes, refer to those notes if you don't understand some of the terminology and lingo that is being used in the Giver. There will be a lesson this week. I have a projector. You can see it. There we go. There's the projector. I have a projector, so I can now make videos. So, sorry, fingers in the way. And I can make videos and videos. I can make PowerPoint slides, and with the PowerPoint slides, we'll give lessons. So the first lesson we'll do is a review lesson. We've already done this, but I want to make sure that we understand it is characterization, indirect and direct characterization. I have a worksheet, and we're going to identify the different types of character traits of these different characters. We've talked about that a lot. We were supposed to do that poster project that we're suspending for now. Maybe we'll do it later. But yeah, character traits. And then how are these characters portrayed and identified? How are these traits identified directly or indirectly? We'll do some notes, quick review on that, and then you will characterize some of the characters in the first 2 chapters of The Outsiders and how they're being portrayed. How is S.E. Hinton, who's the author, how is she identifying these different characters with different character traits? Either directly by telling them through Pony Boy's point of view, or indirectly through the 5 types of steel, right? What a character says, what a character thinks, the effect on others, actions, and looks. Okay, so we'll go over that, and I'll have another video of me teaching, and I'll project it on the wall right there with that projector, and we'll have more assignments too, right? So today you had an assignment for a quick write, right? What does it mean to be an outsider? So what does that mean? So when somebody's an outsider, not inside a community or inside a group or clique or gang, but outside of it, what does it mean to be an outsider? Okay, so I wasn't really referring just to the novel itself, but just the term an outsider. So when you think of a person who is referred to as an outsider, that was inside, my bad, but outside, what do you think of? So that was your quick write today. Yeah, so we've kind of gone over assignments that are due today, due tomorrow, test that Tuesday, and then of course due in the past. Discussion questions also. Sorry, Outsiders discussion questions, chapter 1 and chapter 2 are due today as well with the Outsider quick write. And man, I hope everybody's good. I hope to hear from you soon. Stay tuned for more videos. Please check Google Classroom every day. This video is a little long. I'm sorry. I miss you. Be good. Be well. Let's get to work.